Atletico Madrid and Arsenal, teams who reconvene for the second leg of the semi-final, going down at the Estadio Metropolitano with a tie poised at 1-1 after Atletico's Antoine Griezmann equalized late on in the first leg at the Emirates. Arsenal must score tonight to stand a chance of qualification. A fine evening to you. Welcome along to our coverage of the UEFA Europa League second leg fixture between two heavyweights going down in Spain. One the home side obviously, and the other pretty much one of the most entertaining brands to watch. I'll be your commentator for what promises to be a befitting contest. The guys are present in the studio. Jude on the far left. Good evening to you, Jude.
Good evening, Emmanuel. Nice to be here again. I remember last week both of us were here when we saw that cracking encounter between Arsenal and Atletico Madrid produced a 1-1 stalemate, and this time around, Cholo sitting in the stands, we would definitely miss his antics at the touchline, but we are not going to miss any action on the pitch of play, because this is, according to some people, they say it's Wenger's last card. While he's leaving Arsenal, he has to give them a parting gift, and the Europa League is the only way to get them back into the Champions League, and that is what he has said he will plan to do today.
Let's welcome Azu, who also joins the broadcast. Azu, good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Mo. We spoke so much about this particular encounter. Players are there to actually represent their teams, and we just want to see the best of football. I still have that feeling that Arsenal will go through. How they will do it, I can't actually explain.
It's a quartet in the studio, and completing that is Chidebere Nugulu. Fine evening to you, Chidebere. Welcome along to the broadcast.
Oh, good morning. Good evening to the guys. Big nights, no doubt. Big night, perhaps the biggest of Arsene Wenger's career. His 22 years career out there at the Emirates with this Arsenal side. It doesn't get any better. It's a make or mar game for Arsene Wenger on his beat to end his career on a high out there. It's good. It's a good thing to start good, but it's rather better to end on a high, and that's what Wenger will be hoping his boys gives him tonight.
Like Chidebere mentioned, this is a monumental fixture. It's kicked off, by the way. If Arsenal are to bring the curtain down on Arsene Wenger's swan song season at the final in Lyon, they must become the very first visiting side to score at this new home of Atleti since January. And this is how they will file out tonight. Talking about the Atletico Madrid side, Jan Oblak retains his position as goalkeeper. They've got Godin and Jimenez, Thomas and Lucas completing the back four. Gabi, the captain, alongside Saul Niguez in midfield. Up front is Koke, Griezmann, Vitolo and Diego Costa. While for the Arsenal team, it's David Ospina, who's the Arsenal goalkeeper, Lauren Koscielny, Skodran Mustafi, Nacho Monreal, Hector Bellerin, Granit Xhaka, Jack Wilshere, Aaron Ramsey, Alexander Lacazette, Mesut Ozil, and the German Mesut Ozil. He's no stranger to coming up against Atleti in less than 2 minutes. It's the first corner. It's gone to the home side where we are live on YouTube. Do well to join in the broadcast. You can catch a glimpse again of how the studio is and all the preparations coming into the... Hope this will be quite befitting. Like as you mentioned, so much has been talked about this particular encounter going down at the Wanda Metropolitano. The fans have been quite optimistic. It's just that easy to access the page on YouTube. Just open the YouTube stuff on your phone or your gadget, whatever device you make use of, and just type Nigeria info. You could also add live to it, and of course you gain access to our coverage. A big shout out to the digital team. It's quite a delight to know how easy they make this for everyone. So it's kicked off less than 2 minutes, goalless, but obviously it's been the home side asking all the questions.
Quite true. I mean, we just saw Ospina spill the ball more like... I think, look, it's going to be very difficult. It's the kind of game that would need Arsenal to really dig deeper. It's the kind of game that would make them play out of their skins, literally. So it just tells you how much of a task is really facing them tonight. Atletico Madrid are a team who can play nil-nil draw here. They can finish this tie goalless and qualify. They don't care. Diego Simeone, unfortunately, he's on the stands due to his antics in that first leg. I'm not sure it's really going to affect them. I'm looking at the Atletico Madrid team. I'm seeing a number of leaders, and you can't compare that to maybe the kind of players Arsenal find out tonight. But I think Arsenal have still got the the quality to really come out. I think they have to score the first goal for Arsenal to maybe get something out, and that's the biggest difficult task. That's a very big difficult ask from this Arsenal side, because up from January, Atletico Madrid are yet to concede a goal at home at the Wanda Metropolitano. And we knew how poor Atletico were in the Champions League this season, but once they came, they stepped their foot into that Europa League, they became different animals entirely. So it's really what cut out for these Arsenal players.
Indeed it is. You could also catch the action. It's live on Super Sport 5, as well as you listen to the broadcast right here on Nigeria Info FM. Like I mentioned, we're live on YouTube. You could go drop your comments. We'll take as many as we possibly can. You might have let him. Bucci, or someone in the newsroom, sent me a very funny message, but it's understandable. And of course, Azu, and not leaving out the man on the far left-hand side, Jude Otigbu, the guys in the studio, bringing to you the second leg fixture of the UEFA Europa League. Simultaneous games, so we do not disrespect Marseille and Leipzig. I keep calling them Leipzig, but
no,
it's Salzburg.
They are sisters.
Yes,
they are sisters.
Same owners.
Yeah, same
Crazy.
owners. But at the Red Bull Arena, that one is going down. Red Bull Salzburg hoping to overturn a 2-0 deficit. Yeah. Against this Olympique de Marseille side. They start almost exactly like they started the last time. Alexandra Valka in goal for them. Stefan Leiner, Andre Ramalu Silva, Duhe Kaile Taka, Andrea Uma all make up the back four. Amadou Haidara, Daidi Samaseku, and Valon Berisha make up the defensive midfield position. And up front, the man behind the strikers, Javier Slager, and the two strikers, Munas Dabo and Frederick Gulbrandsen, up front for them. But for the Olympique Marseille side, we have Johan Pele in goal, Jordan Amavi, that man from Aston Villa, Luis Gustavo, Adi Rami, and Bounassa make up the back four. In the defensive midfield position, they go for Morgan Sanson, Maxim Lopez, and they have the three guys up front behind the striker, Lucas Ocampos, Dimitri Payet, the captain, Florian Thauvin, who contributed one of the 2 goals last week, and also the lone striker up front, Valère Jamin, the man from Monaco. So it's going to be an exciting tie there at the Red Bull Arena in Salzburg.
Well, Mano, we're beginning to see Arsenal come forward already. I think it's just signs of good things to come. Like I said, he's playing like a refreshed player down the right-hand side of Arsenal's attack. We just saw him whipping a good crossing in, and maybe just not the right connection to the ball. But I think Arsenal, in the last 3 minutes, I think they've looked very refreshing going forward.
This is a huge opportunity for Atletico to get the first goal, and with so much recklessness, Diego Costa turns what should have been a goal to a goal kick. It's incredible how very lackluster he performed in that second.
Yeah, even if I know Diego Costa has not been scoring, I was surprised that he actually played this so badly. This is not the Diego Costa. This is not the Diego Costa we know. I don't know how he actually played this. Just totally wide, blown away. A huge chance that would have just.
He could have cut back.
Close to what we saw. We saw some goals like this in the Champions League. I remember James scoring from almost that same position. And also Edin Dzeko also scoring from almost that same position.
Incredible.
Though from rebounds. But this is just one huge miss we're seeing. Earlier on, I was going to say something, Ospina.
Yeah.
I think he fumbled that punch. You had nobody marking your defender. You just showed that there was fear in that team. In the first half. In the first half, save he actually made. He didn't have any right to punch that. But even Wenger was complaining on the bench. And now I think somebody's down, Emma.
Well, it's an Arsenal player who's down. Looks like Cristiano, the captain of the side.
Wow.
Looks in so much pain.
Looks like it's going to be taken off. We
doesn't look good.
Quite drama in the first leg and the first half. It was the first 10 minutes, Vasayeko got sent off. And a minute afterwards, it was Diego Simeone who got sent off. But this time, no sending off yet. We've got Italians in charge of this one. Just to mention, it's Gianluca Rocchi alongside Elenito Di Lebratore and Mauro Tonolini. These are the referees of this encounter. No one actually touched him. It's Koscielny who's down, and if a player who's quite a fighter is hitting the ground with so much pain, Wenger already signaled to his medical team. And
I'm not sure he was 100%.
Is that Callum Chambers?
Callum Chambers will be coming on for him. I think it's a huge blow, big blow, no doubt. Everyone knows it. Even the travelling Arsenal fans know this. It's a big blow for Arsenal. He's leader. He's a leader. He's a warrior in that defense.
Yeah, in all fairness, he was also partially responsible for Griezmann's equalizer.
Yeah, he was. I think 60% responsible.
That's why I said, player like Koscielny, if he wants to have a good game, he has an impeccable game. But on days where it's just suspect really and all that. But it looked like a game he really wanted to play. And look at the way he fell.
There was no one who touched him.
Nobody touched him.
Well, you had Diego Costa around him.
Nobody touched him.
You could only suspect Diego Costa, but
it could be the cologne of Diego Costa, just too terrible for him.
He's holding his Achilles. I think
that's more like his ankle. What I noticed
he's not retired for the French national team.
From the reaction from Wenger. Yeah. I think he knew that somebody
wasn't
100% fit. That was what Wenger just showed, because he wasn't surprised when he fell. He just signaled to Callum Chambers
much as we know that he was part of the problems of the last time they conceded against Atletico Madrid, but you need such a player, especially when you have a Diego Costa, a rampaging Diego Costa. We saw him a while ago missing that goal. Diego Costa can actually bully this Arsenal defense. Now you have Mustafi and Callum Chambers. They need a whole lot of work to keep that man at bay, because he can actually release the man, Antoine Griezmann. The man, Antoine Griezmann, the deadly man. He showed them what he could do last time. And believe me, this is one thing Arsene Wenger doesn't want at this time. It's too early. It's too early
to just alter your tactics. Callum Chambers with the number 21 shirt.
Good to see him, though. I think it's added some muscles. I think it's just good for the Arsenal team.
Played a part in Arsenal's fixture against United at Old Trafford.
Weekend,
and looked really fresh when he came on, and
had a decent game with Mavropanos.
In all fairness,
Mavropanos,
the Greek guy.
I thought, I was before that game, I was suspecting the understanding. Right? I thought he did
Atletico fan doing in the midst of Arsenal fans.
He knows nothing. Just watching.
He knows nothing. But this is a serious concern for Koscielny. I mentioned if his concern is missing this particular game or the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, I think both of them came to him at the same time. That's why he was hitting the ground. How fun! Why now?
We don't want to lose such big name players at the World Cup. We've already lost one in Alex Chamberlain. He's not going to be there, and if we do miss Laurent Koscielny, it's going to be a big blow for the French national team.
The problem now for Arsenal, I think one of their biggest problems tonight will be how to keep Diego Costa at bay. This is a player that loves playing against Arsenal. He's had so many battles playing the London derby for Chelsea against Arsenal, and tonight he faces a side he's very used to. And you'd say if Costa puts his head down and plays some very disciplined football, then it's going to be a handful, really. It's going to be almost overwhelming for the likes of Chambers and even the Scotland Mustafi, who are appearing in that central defensive area now for Arsenal. It's going to be really some big trouble for them if he keeps his head cool. It's just huge having Koscielny go out, and you can see what it means to him. Even Griezmann, I think Griezmann also is being compassionate.
Griezmann is French, so he understands it. It's like seeing your brother go out. Football is a beautiful game, regardless of the moment. This goes beyond just the 90 minutes and potential extra time if he ends 1-1. We yet to see an extra time encounter in the Champions League and Europa League this season. We had near moments in the Juve game against Madrid, the Bayern game against Madrid, and of course the Roma tie against Liverpool. By the way, if you missed the coverage, congratulations to five-time champions Liverpool. They reached the Champions League final for the first time since 2007, advancing 7-6 on aggregate, despite that dramatic loss against Roma. They will take on 12-time winners Real Madrid. It's going to be going down in Ukraine, Kiev to be exact, on the 26th of May. Talk more about a special program lined up for that celebration called Goal Fest. But just before that, it's a free kick to Atletico Madrid. Antoine Griezmann hovering around the box, being shadowed by Callum Chambers, the Entrant, replacement for the now injured captain Laurent Koscielny. Just waiting to get confirmation who the armband was channeled to. The free kick to come from the right hand side. It's pretty much decent, dealt with easily by Danny Welbeck. Looks really much like Danny Welbeck, the colourful one. Don't want to say black, so it doesn't sound really funny, but it's still Atleti with the possession. They're playing from right to left. Apologies for not describing the status on the pitch. And Arsenal playing from left to right. Atleti with their home attire, red with shades of white and blue shorts and red socks. Arsenal all dark, just the number in red. But again, easy to identify the players with your movements. It's goalless, but Atleti with the advantage. Courtesy of that lone goal scored by Antoine Griezmann late in that game in the first leg at the Emirates Stadium. And Hedo will try to break free from the centre circle. He's rolled to the right hand side to find a gentleman who scored, Thomas. He was the number 5 shirts for Atleti. He was really good in the first game.
Yeah, I think he's had more like I mean the story for Thomas. I could remember him some couple of seasons back, 3 seasons back precisely for Atletico, and the way he's grown into the side, it's just some great stuff to watch. See some of these young players really growing to the side. He was often this man who would come from the bench and maybe add some solidity to that midfield. But these days he's starting games for Atletico, and it's just great for the Ghanaian.
Keep your comments coming on YouTube. We're live. Shout out to the first respondents. When it's time to take as many comments, yeah, we'll possibly take it. Live on YouTube. You can also send your messages to the WhatsApp number 00959755805. Well, the Champions League final right here in Lagos, Go First will take place. It's going down at the Federal Palace Hotel.
Balmoral.
Yeah, Balmoral Convention Centre. It's FOC free of charge. All you've got to do to be part of that celebration is go to the website Go Fest.
Nigeria.
Yeah, I was wondering if the country was part of it. Yes. GoFestNigeria.com. And also something huge, courtesy of the brand, Femi and the gang. The closing moment is tomorrow. The audition Saturday and Sunday. It's called Fired. This could be Arsenal getting the first year. Oh, no one to fire them. The opener.
Great initiative from Wilshere down that left-hand side.
Pretty much great initiative from Femi and the gang to just trying to dig up the next gens. Those who actually are really good but do not have the platform to be amazing sportscasters. You just got to register on the website, go to Nigeria Info, you go to Faji Official, the Twitter handle, it's pinned there. I had complaints of the registration process ending at processing, but we fixed it. And you can now register if you want to be part of the team. We've got contestants, 30 of them, 10 teachers. Don't know if they call them teachers, but
facilitators.
Yeah, facilitators. No, that's a bigger word, but I think something more relatable. But
10
again,
mentors. So
yeah, mentors. That's exactly the word used. So you could just go register and be part of it. That's right. 30 interns, 10 mentors, and 1 Victor, who has the opportunity to take a selfie with Orororo, who, by the way, is part of the family. So the window closes tomorrow. Auditions are on Saturday and Sunday. Just go and register. Go to Nigerian for the FM and register. Fill the form, just like you fill any form. And just hope your ability would take you to the top. Back out there, the Vanda, it's pretty much the Atletico style of performance. They don't struggle to get too many goals because they don't concede many goals.
Oh, quite true. Quite true for I think it's pretty been, to be fair to Arsenal, I think it's pretty been even. But begin to see Arsenal coming to, their kind of game, the possession kind of game, passing the ball with ease and maybe looking for spaces. A few times we've seen them. We've seen Arsenal come from the flanks. Just a couple of minutes back, Wilshere was sending in a cross from that left-hand side. Once again, they're coming from the left-hand side.
They're trying to do so, trying to ensure Thomas has no sleeping moments in this game. Mesut Ozil, the man who scored 9 goals against Atletico Madrid while he was still a player of Real Madrid, spent moments there, 2010 and 2013. Between 2010 and 2013, played as one of those white angels at the Santiago Bernabeu. He's got a great record against this Atleti side, 7 victories, he's lost just once. And like I mentioned, had the opportunity of scoring 4 times against the Los Rojiblancos, as they call them. But this is a special night for everyone, for the manager on the touchline who's just lost his captain to injury. Arsene Wenger, 22 breathtaking years. He's got to leave them with something memorable, not 6th position on the Premier League table, which not too many Arsenal fans will be joyous about, and a semi-final exit.
But just to make it even more remarkable this tie, it is actually Arsene Wenger's 250th game as a coach, as Arsenal coach in the Champions League. I mean, it just adds to the flavour, really.
I think that's totally in Europe, not just the Champions League.
In Europe.
I was talking about UEFA club
competitions,
yes.
Points, and they got to the final in 2000. So it's a tight one. Talking about that substitution, I looked at Kolasinac on the bench, and I remember the time we used to have both Kolasinac and Morel playing the same defense. Maybe Morel shifting to the centre-back position and Kolasinac running the flanks. But I know Wenger must have seen who is currently on form and who's more quality at this point, and decided to pick Chambers. I would have loved to see Morel maybe just partner
in the central
defense and just have a Kolasinac who can also run wide and see if they can trouble the defense with some pace on the flank.
I think he can carry on the form from the United game, just like Emmanuel said a couple of minutes back. I think it was decent. They only managed to concede 2 goals. I didn't give them any chance against Manchester United. I thought the pairing of Mavropanos and Callum Chambers would be, an absolute howler and catastrophe. But then again, they stood their ground and they did the job. So maybe Wenger putting his faith on the young lad, seeing what he saw in him before signing him at Bolton.
Pace from the Arsenal side. They're playing from left to right, and this is a decent cross. Headed shots by the Atleti player. Lacazette trying to regain possession. Wilshere with a rollover. An opportunity for Bellerin with a cross, just too heavy. And, he could have been a calm moment for Hector.
He should be shooting from there.
Exactly.
He should have been shooting the ball one time and maybe expecting likes of Danny Welbeck, who was right in the area, to tap it in. Yeah, if the goalkeeper punches out. But that was a poor decision coming from the Arsenal right back. I thought that was a good chance for Arsenal to maybe open the scoring here.
They could have done that, and to the dismay, whatever. Look at the assistant of El Cholo.
Strange, he's
just
right.
Takes me back to drug movies, Narcos. It's crazy stuff, man. He looks so much like a dealer. Well, he's
actually an ex-international, ex-international goalkeeper, German Burgos. That's his name.
Quite a fella.
A big name in football. Yeah.
Big and intimidating. And the good thing is actually he can also write down, formations. Yes, that's something to say that hey, he's human and we can be friends after all. Could say 20 minutes played. It's still goalless in both match centres. Salzburg need to get a goal in that game to start a chance against Marseille.
2 goals.
Well, we got to get
need
one
3
first
goals,
to
3
give them hope.
goals to qualify.
Yeah, if it ends 2-0, it goes into extra time. If this game ends with in 90 minutes, well, I don't know who's going to run the commentary for extra time for the Salzburg fixture. The only reason we'll stay more than we're supposed to is if Arsenal finds a way to end this tie 1-1. If it ends 2-2, Arsenal qualifies. So that's the good thing. It's not entirely bad for the Gunners. Just 1 goal and it's pressure on Atletico Madrid.
Absolutely. It makes it really interesting. But I think the downside about this tie is this Madrid side can actually play you for full 90 minutes and they do not score a goal and they keep it a clean slate. And that's why it becomes very precarious for Arsenal. They've got to get the goal. They know they're the team under pressure here.
Oh, terrible pass there from Antoine. Trying to lay free the former Chelsea man, Diego Costa, who, like we've repeatedly mentioned on the broadcast, is no stranger to the Arsenal team. It's quite all contests against Arsenal was dramatic whenever Diego Costa was involved. But it's Atleti now, just close to the midway line, just knocking the ball around. Thomas straight to the captain. After the side, Gabi and Godin and Jimenez just knocking the ball, but it's a terrible decision. Yeah.
Great comeback from Callum Chambers.
Very fortunate in that instance. We've seen the defenders get punished for misjudging the flight of the ball, but this time it's still Atleti with the possession. And Griezmann roaring to the crowd. He needs a bit of vocal support.
Of course,
they've been really quiet.
They would need every support they can get. You trust them out there at the Wanda Metropolitano. It's one fearful stadium, really. Maybe, it hasn't been long Atletico started playing in this stadium, just this season. But I'm looking at the capacity and how big the stadium is, man. I think it gives you that chill of maybe even the Champions League final can be played in this stadium. It's such a beautiful stadium, looking at it from the area view. And, with the fans shouting at the top of their voice. Look at what he means from Griezmann.
It's been really quiet. You could pretty much hear it.
They've got to make the night. They've got to make it electric, and that's what he's.
And the good thing is, he got a reaction. Something like he's got a blood stain on his shirt.
I'm wondering, is that the way he's always been?
Was it blood or tattoo?
I don't think tattoos actually drip.
It looks like
that manner.
Maybe a finger
cut, something of the sort. When he went for an aerial challenge, referees don't like that, so he's got to get that. I presume blood stain off his neck. something about football and obviously it's a scratch.
No, it's a scratch.
It's a scratch. So yes,
Okay, that's why he's
but it's actually his head and he's got to fix it.
That's why he's complaining. That's why he's complaining to the referee.
Well, he's got to fix it. He's got to take his jersey off. He can't continue with that. Yeah, and now he's feeling it.
And the Arsenal team, they have to really be very ready for
the
this.
referee didn't even see it, but Arsenal are coming forward. Apologies, Jude.
Yep.
And I think they're terrified by blood. It's Lacazette in the penalty area. It's been easily body checked by that Atleti defender. Well, again, he regains possession. Still Lacazette on the far left-hand side. Great skill to go past the first man. He's got about 2 red and blue shirts. And they happily lose possession, but regained easily there by their left back. An opportunity now for them to try to break free from the right-hand side. Mesut Ozil rolls it down for Hector. Back to Mesut, the German. And with not too telepathic cross. And Thomas and Saul Niguez combining to almost cause a catastrophe.
That was almost a poor pass.
Really terrible, but Arsenal still with the possession there. Hector running from the right. He gets possession of the ball. He's close to the edge of the area on the right-hand side. Rolls it infield. Back to Ozil. He sends a diagonal to the far left-hand side. Pretty much easy stop for him. Nacho Monreal finds Danny Welbeck. But Welbeck looks really big tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably it's the jersey or something. Doesn't look like Welbeck, looks like Akifenwa.
If you want to play against Atletico, you know they're very physical side.
Possession taken, it's a counter-attacking moment for Atleti. They're 3 against 4 now, make the 4 against 4. A decent pass will be good, and eventually does come. It's a turn, an opportunity for a strike in the box, but somehow astute defending from the Arsenal back line.
Unbelievable.
Quite mature and unbelievable from an Atleti perspective.
Diego Costa, what was he doing? He couldn't get his composure around that ball. It was right in the 18-yard area. He had a support from his right-hand side. He should be turning. He should be aware of his environment. It was poor display from Diego Costa. I'm sure if they had started, maybe a Fernando Torres, maybe he could have done better. Yet again, for his second time, it was a poor display from Diego Costa. It was a brilliant chance for Atletico Madrid. He should be converting that.
So apologize for your anger, Chidebere, but then again, lucky for us, the replay caught that moment. Callum Chambers left his right elbow on the head of Antoine Griezmann. Well, he's got to really patch that up before he becomes dizzy and faints on the pitch. No one wants such stories. Arguably the most prized assets on the pitch.
Now you begin to wonder how these guys get this caught. If not African man, he go just swell up if anything will happen. Or your partner no player.
No,
but they get caught so easily, and I wonder
but
you must understand at the same time that
how did that really open his
you might always recognize the fact that the adrenaline is actually pumping, and anything can easily happen to a man who has.
It's incredible. The referee is not even concerned about.
I think it's not about the referee. I think it's Antoine Griezmann. He needs to step out. He doesn't have to wait for the referee to step out to
the referee
get
obviously
treatment.
Yes,
that's
blood stain.
Yes, there's blood stain, but he needs to step out. He's the one injured, not the referee. He should step out.
But the referee's in charge of the game. He can't walk off the pitch like that. The referee
he can actually step aside just by the sideline and get some treatment.
A man is bleeding from the head. It's the worst place to bleed.
The bleeding is actually much.
It is much, and it was actually pointing to the bench and told Griezmann, I think I have something on my head.
Any form of bleeding is actually very important. I mean, you've got to look into it.
It depends on where you're bleeding from. And I don't think it's really fun to bleed. But then again, it's a free kick to Arsenal. In their half, they're a bit calm. Well, yes, finally found who has the armband. It's Jack Wilshere. So the moment the captain who started tonight, Laurent Koscielny, got injured, the armband was given to Jack Wilshere, who has the number 10 shirt. On the bench for the Arsenal team, just for a second, yes, confirmed Alex Iwobi. I didn't reel out the lineup for the guys who are on the bench. It's his birthday today, so he's going to be hoping for something really great.
Turns 23.
Yeah, Alex Iwobi.
22.
It's 22 today. The Nigerian midfielder, who obviously would be.
He's aging.
Oh, he's just 22.
He's old.
You're older than him?
I don't know.
Okay, so.
He's almost at the same age as Musa.
He's 24 now.
Yeah, Musa.
Whoa! But it might eventually come. Just
why did he go back?
Why did he go back? From the Arsenal team.
Why did he go back?
From there.
Why did he go back? Arsenal had the chance to score.
Very accurate angle, that chance from
he should have taken it. Take the chance.
I thought it was very accurate. I thought he did the right thing, turning back. It was already gone past that right hand attacking area. Well, close to the first woodwork on the right hand side though, but I thought he did the right thing. But maybe one thing that could work against Arsenal would be dressing the ball too much. They've got to be shooting it anytime they get the ball in the 18.
Getting close to the half-hour mark. 28 minutes of action played out there, the Wanda Metropolitano in Madrid. It's Arsenal operating from left to right. They've been pretty much happier with the ball in the last couple of minutes. And here they'll try to do something tangible. Mustafi rolls it to the left-hand side, an opportunity for a breakthrough there from Arsenal's Aaron Ramsey. Pretty much composed play from the Gunners. It's not often they get hold of possession this much. They've got to make it count, and the cross would come infield still. It's laid back to Ozil, who finds Hector Bellerin close to the edge of the area. Turns to the Frenchman Alexander Lacazette, sandwiched by two Athletic players. Ball's gone out for a throw. Well play, Saul Niguez. And of course the camera also would pan on Lacazette. Quick throw taken. It's Arsenal still with the possession all the way back. Now they go, trying to build and regroup and just restart that tactics, finding a way to exploit the Atleti defense, and this time it's a wasted cross.
Yeah, Emmanuel, Arsenal getting the better of the possession in the last 5 minutes or so, but they have to really be clinical up front, because the chances they'll get in this game is going to be very difficult for them to get chances. But trust the Arsenal, once they get into their passing game, they can actually cut through their Atletico defense. But Jan Oblak, the man that stood between them and victory last week, is still there for the Arsenal team, and you expect him to do a little bit more. But Arsenal were wasteful last week. If they can get their acts together, any chance they get, if you get 10 chances, score 9, that is what you need to defeat this Atletico Madrid team, because they are quite compact, and they are ready to pounce on the Arsenal mistake just like they did last week.
Shout out to you, David Olamide, on YouTube. Torres to spoil Wenger's farewell on Ketia to score a stoppage time winner. Babatunde Lawal says, good job guys, I hope Wenger's formation walk out tonight after making some changes to the team that played Manchester United. I hope they win. Keep your comments coming through on YouTube. We are live on that platform. Just search for Nigeria Info Live.
I think they're playing well. They're playing well.
So far?
I think so good.
It's been down to what Arsenal are not doing in the final third. Two of Atletico's best chances have come in the feet of Diego Costa. He's failed to be sharp in that 18-yard area, and if he continues in this third, we might just be seeing him being changed in the second half. I mean, Atletico have got quality on that bench. I'm not sure Grameri is starting. I think he's on the bench.
I think he was replaced for the Diego Costa tactical substitution.
Fernando Torres is one player who is also on the bench. I'm sure he'll be really excited to face this Arsenal side one more time.
The second corner for Atleti on the night. Arsenal have had one. It's going to be taken by the number 6 shaded player, Koke. One of the few players who've won this competition.
It's like Griezmann.
It's Griezmann now. Koke just standing right beside. I'll be surprised if it's a short corner they want to take, because they have the numbers in the box. And Griezmann just yields my call, sends one to the deep. Should be a free kick.
Whoa!
Well, it's a free kick to
free
Arsenal.
kick already. Well, that was a cracker.
Then again, it's just visionary moments there for the Arsenal team to regroup. Nothing to terrify them, obviously.
That was a foul.
Good strike though. Good strike from Partey.
Diego Godin, the man who was responsible for that free kick. Five fouls committed by the home side, just one committed by the travelling team, Atleti. It's still goalless out there in the Salzburg-Marseille game. So the two fixtures tonight are without a goal. If it ends this way, it's a Madrid-Marseille final. Still plenty of time left. Here to come the Arsenal side. Ozil sends it to the left-hand side. Nacho Monreal gives it to Danny Welbeck. Takes his time back to Nacho. Well, it's not a perfect pass, but the Spaniard regains. And it sends infield, close to the centre circle. An opportunity for Hector on the outside of right. Sends it all the way back infield. They're taking their time. Just trying to look for the perfect opportunity to hurt this Atleti side. It's Nacho on the left-hand side now. Sends his ball back, Aaron Ramsey. And it's a good pass, just the first touch. Let the Arsenal man down in the box. And some powerful return there from the Atleti defender. It was Nacho Monreal in an unfancied position, but he scored many goals. Well, not too many, but very crucial goals this season. Nacho Monreal, he had gotten the first touch correct, right in the box. could have been a problem for the Atleti side.
Was quite onside. Good spell of possession from Arsenal. And just like Jude said earlier, once they begin to come into their possessive elements, they become very, unpredictable and difficult. In the early periods of this game, we saw them, sending some of those long balls in. There weren't a lot of bodies in that 18 to head in. Welbeck was, really nowhere. And it's good to know that in the last couple of minutes, Arsenal put the ball on the ground and, beginning to play their really kind of football.
A throw for Atleti, a long one by Lucas. It's been an isolated Fernando Torres, but he's part of those in the box there. And this cross might be distant for Fernando, but this time it's snuffed out easily by an Arsenal black shirt and played out not to safety because Atleti regained possession and they decide to send it all the way back to Tamas, who finds the goalkeeper Jan Oblak, who was described by Arsene Wenger. It's one of the reasons why they couldn't get a victory at the Emirates Stadium. He hopes tonight he would be less overwhelming in his performance.
Emma, you actually mentioned Fernando Torres, and I've been looking for him all through the pitch.
Well, he's on the bench, actually, Fernando.
Oh, I thought you said he was actually waiting for a cross.
Pretty much meant Diego Costa, but he had to come again. The Arsenal team, Danny Welbeck, great composure from the Englishman, gives away possession nonetheless. We're helped out by
Chambers.
Well, Callum has been really energetic since his introduction in this game. Pretty much trying to make a claim to that position. So number 20 man now, Squadron Mustafi. Callum Chambers, he's got Nacho on the left hand side, he's got Mustafi on the right. Finds Nacho. He's going to take his time to the captain of the side, Jack Wilshere. If you're just joining the broadcast, well, unfortunate for Arsenal's Laurent Koscielny, picked up a knock early on and had to be replaced by Callum Chambers. So the armband transferred to Jack Wilshere. So if you hear me call Jack the captain, that's just the story behind that captaincy. 33 minutes played. It's Arsenal 0. Well, Atleti 0, Arsenal 0, 1-1 on aggregate. Marseille still lead 2-0 on aggregate for it is goalless still in that encounter. Straight pass there from Hector. It's going to be an Atletico throw on the left-hand side.
Arsenal have got to do more. They've got to make good use of this possession. I said that earlier. I think, look, we've got to see that all those some of those runs coming from Danny Welbeck, we know he hasn't had lots of joy. It's interesting to know that the Ghanaian international, Thomas Partey, is completing that four-man defense for Atletico Madrid, playing from the right back. Maybe it's made it difficult for Danny Welbeck to maybe penetrate, but I think we've got to see more from Welbeck. I think he's one of those players who are quite unpredictable. You don't know when he's going to be, when he's going to be in his element. So perhaps if he's in his element, maybe one good pass from Mesut Ozil could really free him up going forward. But I think Arsenal have looked comfortable, even though they are the team, they're the team behind. Because you look at it, if the game ends this way, Atletico Madrid will be going through. But Arsenal have kept their calm. I think it's really good with the way they are passing the ball. They just have to make do with this possession and be clinical in the final third.
Well, if he cannot perform, he can be dramatic. Diego Costa, the former Chelsea player, he made 89 Premier League appearances for Chelsea between 2014 and 2017. Scored 52 goals. He won the title with Chelsea in the 2016-17 campaign under Jose, who currently is manager of Manchester United. Well, David Ospina with a friendly cross, that's all I would call it, because I don't know who was terrifying to the goalkeeper to allow him to give away possession cheaply. A throw taken from the right inside by Thomas Partey. It's all the way infield now, support from Jimenez. It's just running through alongside Diego Godin, and this time it's not going to be a free kick to Atleti. Well, is it? It's Diego Godin who's complaining. Well, I hope the referee has given that as a foul against the Atleti player.
Well,
it's actually a foul against Alexander Lacazette, who clipped him on the back while he was hoping for a yellow card.
Correct.
So it's a free kick to Atleti. And the referee, Gianluca Rocchi, has been really on point in all of his calls tonight. 6 fouls committed, 2 by the Arsenal team. The set piece sent into the penalty area, and it's still Atleti, and the Arsenal players hovering around it. Danger not yet averted. Still area challenge from different shots, and the cross eventually comes, and the goalkeeper with a right-handed save. Well, there was no contact, so says the referee. The man they call Resurrección Merodio, well, for commentary reasons, it's just Koke. To make it pretty much easy, this South American elongated names, but they make it easy for commentators by just with their
like the Brazilians.
AKA and so, but his full name is Resurrección Merodio. That's Koke, who's pretty much active here
thought the poise was apt from Cook. It was just that tad bit of direction to the ball. It was good idea coming from him with that volley. It was quite weak from me, but good idea. And Atletico continue to come forward. If they get the first goal here, it's almost game over for Arsenal. But in football, we know impossibility is nothing. And maybe we can expect Arsenal to really show some grit here.
But a free kick to Atletico Madrid on the right-hand side to be taken by the man who I've mentioned. Pretty much obvious in this encounter. Ospina should have been threatened from this position. It's over 42 yards.
Looks a lot.
On the right-hand side, pretty much all the Athletic players are kept in the Arsenal 18-yard box. It's near perfect. And Griezmann turns and somehow, well, he just rolls past everyone and in front of the goalkeeper.
Great
Could have been something remarkable and ease the pressure from a dramatic manager who is in the VIP box, but feels like he's in the popular stand. They cannot sit down. What a cross that was, and pinpoints first control. As they say, for a striker, that is everything. And the genius of him turning to strike the ball.
Such moves end at the back of the net. It was a great move coming from Antoine Griezmann. I mean, the control was great, and the turn with the ball. Such turns should be ending at the back of the net, and he's a special player. You've got to admit that. I mean, maybe you might not necessarily see him all game long, but then again, he pops up there and he gives you one moment of magic, and those are kind of moments Arsenal should be aware of.
And here they come, Atleti. It's 4 against 5 for the black shirts, and outnumbering the red and blue. Arsenal still playing from left to right. We're still in the first 45, obviously. 40 minutes played. 5 left to half-time. Still plenty here. It's Diego Costa. It's a decent pass straight up front, unfortunately. Well, he just couldn't connect with Vitolo.
Mustafi.
Oh, so astute defending from the man mentioned, and Arsenal can counter-attack. Hector Bellerin chasing the ball from the right-hand side. Gets control of it. He still has it, Hector. Rolls it up front. Too heavy and quite unnecessary. Pass there, and eventually it's an Athletic player who puts it out for touch for a throw to the Arsenal side. Diego Godin, the defender.
I think it was a poor pass by Hector Bellerin. He should have done better.
It looked promising. That break looked very promising.
The throw taken by Hector. Finds the captain, Jack. Jack O'Shea, while Costa tracking back to support the defence. How not often do you find that happening? Unfortunately for them again. Well, fortunately because they regained the possession yet. Antoine Griezmann, Vitolo, all of the front players are there. Surely a free kick. And it might just be the first booking of the game. Well, if it's what I think,
I don't think it's a booking.
Antoine Griezmann down, the Arsenal player is protesting. Well, natural
experience.
He's been called back by the referee, by the way, just to have a conversation.
Yeah.
It was pretty much a tug on the shirt of Antoine Griezmann, and
wow, look at that first touch.
He knew what the player wanted to do there. He knew it was some of those intricate passes that leads to something fruitful. He just had to, shove Griezmann down. A great attacking play coming from Atletico Madrid. They can get very dangerous when they have the possession. They're not a very possessive side, but when they get the possession, they can smell blood.
Well, the free kick taken is still Atleti, but eventually the Arsenal players can heave aside. The referees getting a little bit anxious.
Emmanuel, I won't be surprised if there's a red card in this game. The Atletico players are becoming very, very physical. They need to calm down. They need to talk to themselves because their inspirational manager is nowhere to be found. He's in the stand. Someone should get him a binoculars because the man is kneeling to try to see from afar what is going on the pitch of play. But German Burgos is doing a great job at the sideline for Atletico Madrid. But the Arsenal team, I think they are being pegged back a little bit. They had possession of the game the last 10 minutes or so, but just some flimsy mistakes, and Atleti are getting back in the game. They need to push Atletico back if they need to get something out of this one. Well, the referee has flashed the first card.
Strangely.
Eventually the first yellow card shown to the Arsenal captain, who seconds back was trying to protest why Diego Godin didn't get a yellow card, but this time it was Gabi he barged into the challenge of the captains.
Pound of flesh.
And it's just simple. Wilshere was angry and he took that into that particular tackle. You didn't need to get a yellow card at this point. You need to stay clean. This is a 90 minutes game. It's going to be very feisty. Yes, Gabi deserved the first yellow card of the game. He didn't give him. Let it go. Now you took it upon yourself to actually get your own self the yellow card. I was going to say earlier on that it might not be the player that caused the foul that will get the yellow, but for this protesting and this wrong comments made by players when they want the referee to do something and he's not doing it, they end up picking a card for themselves.
Johnny Welbeck still in field, but it's Jack Wilshere, the only man on the yellow, and of course he's going to lay free Nacho Monreal, who's busting with the pace on the left-hand side. He's got about 2 black shirts, not quite encouraging for a cross, and does the usual, turns back, so they can build from the midfield.
There's something working for Atletico, man, and you've got to admit that anytime the Arsenal side come forward, and their numbers in that defense.
Ozil from a pass from Nacho Monreal. It's back to the German who lays it free, and it's Johnny Welbeck trying to combine with, in that instance, it was actually Lacazette. The stature and positioning of the two strikers up front, but haven't had the set of opportunities they would crave to carve out that Atleti defense, marshaled by Godin Jimenez, Lucas and Thomas Partey, the Ghanaian. 44 minutes of action played. Atleti nil, Arsenal nil. Nacho Monreal on the left hand side, trying as much as he can to approach the penalty. Somehow Thomas stifles that desire. And it's going to be not the Atleti side clearing the ball. Well, such a perfect player, Thomas Partey.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
He's done nothing wrong tonight.
The man responsible for sending the other Atletico man to China, was that his name? The one that used to play the position that they sold to a club in China, the Belgian.
Well, his name practically omits everyone in the studio,
I've
but
forgotten his name.
whoever it was,
But the Belgian,
He's an attacking player.
The last man I remember went to China. This former captain of Porto. That's the only, and he's actually a striker. He didn't do well. No, not so. Dark, huge, wonderful captain when he was at Atletico. Came to Atletico and couldn't replicate that same form. I'm trying to remember his name. Wonderful for Atletico. I think alongside Abubakar, who plays also for Abubakar, who plays for Cameroon and also for Porto.
Yeah, I was talking about Carrasco.
Carrasco. Yes, Yannick Carrasco.
Yeah, he sent him to China.
I think he's not a brilliant player. Does the same thing over time. Has always been childish since I knew him. Yes, has 1 or 2 wonderful flashes, but in the end, we end up playing that childish style of football. Simeone doesn't want all those. I'm not sure where I'm going kind of a football. That's why he chose to stay with Thomas, who wasn't too skillful, but has gone into the game and the Atletico start.
Well, Atleti are trying to get a goal before half-time to just deflate whatever hope the Arsenal team have, and they do have a corner crossed by Mesut Ozil, the German, who have lost just once in his meeting against Atletico Madrid. Had more victory, obviously, because the superior Madrid team, with all due respect to Atleti, are Real, who already secured progress to the final of the bigger tournaments, the Champions League. They take on a bigger English side in Liverpool with 5 Champions League trophies. Arsenal just one appearance. That was at the 2006 final. But this is a free kick, a corner, I beg your pardon, to be taken by Koke. He's right-footed, it's going to be an in-swinger. It's a corner on the left-hand side. We've got practically everyone in the box. Should be the last action in this game. The corner is not too good, but again an opportunity for a strike from over 24 yards. Lucky for the Arsenal players. The former guard to completely stifle that, and it's going all the way to the goalkeeper, Jan Oblak.
Yeah, look at the assistant referee. He's almost running into the football pitch. That was really funny.
The good thing is the cameras didn't catch it, so there was no need for him to anticipate the sleepless nights of memes on social media. He's safe for now.
I think he was running from the assistant coach. Wow. Assistant coach. Yeah, he was right beside him.
I wasn't sure if he was the assistant coach. In all fairness, he doesn't really look really friendly. And certain people, but his heart could be really sweet. That's the irony about the creation called man. And most with the very arrogant faces are the meekest. And those with the smiley faces.
I need an arrogant face, man.
I have something. It's got to do with drama, to say the least. Just a minute, presumably added by.
I think it's all 3 minutes.
3 additional minutes.
And that's because of that injury to Laurent Koscielny.
Fair enough then. Still goalless. Who would have thought the simultaneous fixtures will obviously be pretty much 3 additional minutes added. And of course, we've played 1 in a couple of seconds. Some hasty and hefty touch from the Atletico goalkeeper, Jan Oblak. On the 90, needs to be perfect. Oh, what a pass that was. It could be Diego Costa! It's Atleti with the first goal! Just when you thought it was going to be a break of goalless, it's the man who's hunted Arsenal from London. He's brought it to Madrid.
Wow.
This is a perfect end to a competitive first half. It's Atleti 1, Arsenal 0. Diego Costa with the goal.
It was always coming. It was absolutely always coming. Swift attack coming from Atletico Madrid once again. And look at the disappointment in the face of Granit Xhaka. He knows that shouldn't be going in. Swift attack from that left-hand side. The ball right in the 18-yard area. Where it came from the right-hand side, that cross. Diego Costa was running into space. It was a lackluster defending coming from Arsenal. How did they let their guards down just when it mattered most? Long ball down the right-hand side. And look at that pass. Thomas Partey kept the ball in play. That pass coming from Griezmann. Diego Costa was right in the air. There was no way that man Bellerin was going to get the ball before him. And he just finished it past Ospina. Great goal from Atletico Madrid. And you have to say they've been the more disciplined side so far today.
Fernando Torres on the bench, Griezmann on the pitch, but it's Diego Costa who would steal the headlines at half-time. El Cholo, a man who we all love to see celebrate. One of the most dramatic. I think Jurgen Klopp had a tutorial from him. Imagine these two managers in the Premier League. It's going to be local. Well, it's half-time. The Italian who's had a near-perfect officiating first half, Gianluca Rocchi, has seen enough of football, and it's all about this gentleman, Diego Costa, who faced Arsenal 5 times while he was in the Premier League with Chelsea. And the most ironic thing is, in his very last appearance as a Chelsea player against the Arsenal team, he got a goal in that FA Cup final that ended 2-1 in Arsenal's favour. And the next time he comes up against this side, what a pass that was, what a control, and what an execution.
Left-footed.
Just the sort of goal you want at half-time if you support Atletico Madrid. It's half-time at the Wanda Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 1, Arsenal 0.
Hi, my name is Tunji Andrews, and I run the SME show on 99.3 Nigeria Info every Monday at 10 a.m. You see, every second Monday of the month, we have what we call the Pitch It Mondays, where if you're an entrepreneur, you have a business idea, but you need investment into your business, you're able to pitch it to investors who will be with me in the studio. You'll be able to pitch your ideas in 45 seconds or less. And if you can catch their attention, you get the critical investment you need into your business. So rehearse what you're going to say, make sure you're able to catch their attention in 45 seconds or less, you might get that investment into your business.
Hi guys, my name is Tolulope Adeleru Balogun. I currently host Morning Crossfire. I'm here to tell you that you have to get your PVC. Your permanent voter's card is your power, and in your hand you hold the power to make any necessary change that you want in Nigeria. Please participate, because elections are not the end of democracy and governance. The highest office in the land is the office of the citizen. You and I are citizens of Nigeria. Get your PVC. Your PVC, your voice.
Hi, I'm Tunji Andrews, and this is 1,000 Naira notes. To some people, this represents a meal or a few bottles of beer. To other people, this is 4 units of Dangote cement shares or 21 units of GT Bank stock, or the startup capital needed to start that pure water business. Whoever you are and whatever your needs might be, we have you covered on the Money Business and Economy Show on 99.3 Nigeria Info, weekday mornings at 9 a.m. Cause it's not really the amount of money that matters. It's usually what you do with it. Cheers.
for Europa League second leg game going down at the Estadio Wanda Metropolitano in Madrid. It's a scoreline that favours the home side, 1-0. A 45-minute strike from former Chelsea man Diego Costa gives Atletico Madrid what you call a happy start coming into the second 45. The name is Emmanuel Latim, and the studio alongside Chilebura Nogulu, Azu, and of course Jude Otsigbu. Oh guys, 30 seconds Azu. Let me start from you. Your take on the first 45.
Great first half. All I noticed from Arsenal was they created chances but didn't just know how to put it in the back of the net, and that's where there's a challenge. You need to start shooting from outside. Arsenal need to go out AC Milan in the Champions League game. Fabregas scoring 2 goals from almost outside the box. That's the kind of finesse they need at this time. Not trying to walk the ball into the post. If not, they will go down by maybe 1 more goal.
And for you, Chidebere?
Well, I mean, great entry in football from both teams. I thought it was not up to the ending part of that first half that the Arsenal team lost sleep, but we always knew the quality of Diego Costa. He missed 2 glaring chances to put his team in front early in the first half, but then again I thought that was just the right recompense to just pay back all those lost chances, and what a way to put it past the goalkeeper or spinner. And I mean, there was really no way you could have put your money ahead of against Diego Costa, not beating Hector Bellerin together. But it was a moment of defensive switch from Arsenal, which allowed Atletico Madrid. But let's see. Hopefully, the away side Arsenal come up with a fight in the second half, and perhaps we might just see Atletico Madrid continue from where they stopped and caging Arsenal.
The second 45 is underway. I would like to get Jude's expectations for the second half.
Oh well, Arsenal need to be a little bit more clinical up front. They've had a couple of chances in the first half. They need to put bodies up front and not miss those chances when they have it. Atletico Madrid are quite a defensive side, so whenever you get the chance, just try to convert. So I think they need to put one more person at least in the middle of the attack to pair with Lacazette, because I don't think he can do that alone with this Atletico defense. But I mean, credit to them, they've played brilliantly, except for the lack of concentration that cost them that goal during the final minutes of the first half. But get their acts together and be clinical up front while keeping an eye on the defense.
I think they have to make away with the long balls. I think we'll have to see Arsenal really play those ground balls. I think when they come centrally, they can be they can cause huge problems for this Atletico Madrid defense. I'm not sure they're the best of defense we have around Europe. So maybe if Arsenal can come more directly, from a more direct position, and put the ball on the ground, perhaps they can stand a chance.
The second 45 is on the way, as we mentioned. We'll be heading straight to the 4 lines. Let's feel your pulse, get your take on the outcome, what you expect of the second half, and of course how you beheld our coverage of the first 45. Atletico Madrid are playing from right to left. They are playing from left to right actually this time in the second 45, and Arsenal are playing from right to left. Arsene Wenger on the touchline already early in this one. This could be his European swan song for Arsenal. He doesn't want it to end in such a heartbreaking fashion. The numbers to call is 012770993, 012771993, 012772993, and 012773993. It's going to be such a delight to have you guys join the broadcast. Do well to send your messages on WhatsApp to 080-959-75805. We'll take as many as we possibly can. And also, as Azu just mentioned, they will be taken. Azu or Jude, they'll just expand that, the font and take as many messages on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. Just search for Nigeria Info, and we'll take as many as possible. Let's get our first call. It's still 1-0 to Atletico Madrid. A goal scored by Diego Costa, and for the opt-in time, it's Griezmann who's pretty much motivating the Atleti fans to chant and scream. Probably they all came here with sore throats. I don't understand what they've done, but I'll take the calls after this corner. Again, by Griezmann is left foot, so an in-winger. The corner is coming for the right hand side. If Arsenal gets one, it might just be good as Griezmann to take. It's left footed, it's long, it's high, it's deep, and Costa sends it. Easy catch. Pretty much easy from the goalkeeper David Ospina, but Diego Costa Well, one is not enough for him. He wants to get a second in this game.
Yeah, he needed power to that ball, but it was great connection to the ball from Diego Costa. But it's just like the power he needed for it to beat the spinner on that instance.
Let's see who the caller we have. The first one. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you for joining us. What's your name?
My name is Ademola. I'm calling from Radipo.
All right, welcome, Ademola. Go ahead.
Hello.
We can hear you. Go ahead. Good evening. Yes, just go ahead.
Actually, I'm a first-time caller.
Okay, welcome.
Actually, I really want us not to win this game if possible then.
All right, if it's possible, he wants Arsenal to win. Thank you. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Adrian Martin.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel the Arsenal can still win this game tonight. Can still qualify.
Okay, it feels Arsenal can not only win but advance. Obviously, if they win, they would qualify. Hello?
Good evening.
Yes, good evening to you.
Yeah, this is Mr. Gunoba from Festa.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I'm a die-hard fan of Arsenal. If Atletico can come England and play 1-1 with Arsenal, I don't see why Arsenal cannot go to Spain and play 1-1. Arsenal will go on and equalize and win the match. I have that belief.
Thank you so much. That's why you're a fan. And hello, Maxwell. Thank you for calling. Good evening.
I give everybody video,
A big pleasure, Maxwell. Go ahead, please.
I want to send the Arsenal fans die. You see, Coach Samin's first leg, second leg today go hot because indoor is Arsenal, the training so they can forget themselves at any time. That's why I think it's good. But I feel that Arsenal can come back and qualify, please. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much, Maxwell, the caller of the century. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Really just likes listening to himself. Hi, good evening. There's a dandy. Okay, and this is the silent one. Weird callers, but it's fine. Hi, good evening to you. Welcome to the show. What's your name, please? Thank you for calling, Chris. I know he's on sabbatical.
Yeah, I'm here. Good evening.
You know what I want to
Okay.
What do you want?
say? The Wenger guy. This is his last thing with Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
That guy is going to make way. And Emmanuel,
Yeah?
the owner of Arsenal, don't make you listen to the words he used, like paying tribute to Wenger, right? So this night, Judo Dibu,
Sir?
that's what we call in Europa, they say Sojunu. I think the referee will do that towards the ending of that game. The referee will do what we call Sojunu, and Arsenal will sail through.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you so much, Christopher.
Conspiracy theories.
This is near perfection.
Got to go, man.
That's a yellow card. That should be a booking.
It's one yellow card apiece. Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for calling. So, Godin.
My name is Promise.
You have to turn down the volume of your radio sets, please.
Okay, my name is Promise.
All right, promise, go ahead.
Yes, sir. If I thought Arsenal couldn't make the Europa League, can Chelsea make it up? If Liverpool take the Champions League.
We'll be looking at some of those possibilities. Let Arsenal qualify first for the finals.
Right.
If Arsenal does not qualify,
Thank you, by the way.
Everything remains normal
For
in
the
the Premier League.
assignment. By the way, shout out to Salzburg. They just scored one against Marseille. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Holy smoke. Yes, welcome.
Ishola Olafare from Fadi.
Thank you for calling, Ishola.
If there is any thing that needed this cup, to win this semi-final, it has to be Arsenal.
Okay.
So Atletico has nothing to lose by not winning because already they have qualified for Champions League.
Okay.
So what will be the gain of Arsenal throughout this season now? Right? I think that Atletico should give this cup to Arsenal fans as a parted gift.
Yeah.
But if he failed this evening, he has failed woefully as he was leaving. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ishola, for calling. Appreciate you big time. We're squeezing 2 more calls and focus on the second 45. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, good evening.
Good evening to
Good
you.
evening.
Yeah, Martin.
All right, Martins, go ahead.
Yeah, what I want to say based on this Atletico match, to me, as the last caller said, Arsenal need the match more than Atletico because they have to make sure they win the cup and qualify for Champions League. Atletico have nothing to lose. They're already there. They are second in their table, if I'm not mistaken, or third So, to me, I just believe to Arsenal, they have to try their possible best to make sure they do what they can do to make sure they win this match for today. That's what I want to say.
And I appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. One more. Hello?
Amen. For the first time, we get to Femi and the gang. Come on. How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
I wish Arsenal can get through. Like they all said, I think who has nothing to lose, but everybody wants to put his hand on the trophy, you know what I'm saying? It's just that Arsenal needs to go. They kind of like living it late. And it's always a problem for them. It's in their own home, in Emirates, they have given their best. You know? Not waiting to do a miracle in another man's place. So I wish Arsenal win all the best. And if it gets to the final, I want to even win.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, what's your name, please? We didn't catch it.
All right. Soji is the name.
Soji, thank you for calling. Don't be a stranger. Appreciate you big time.
It's kind of strange when a lot of people are calling and saying Atletico don't have anything to lose. Arsenal have everything.
In terms of qualifying for the Champions League, I think that's the context.
I mean, if they don't win anything, they go trophyless. They have something to play for.
They still qualify for the Champions
League.
Yeah,
they have something to play for. They need the trophy.
Yeah, they do need it. It's just the context of
Champions League football. When you say Atletico Madrid,
Madrid,
Arsenal need it more than Atletico. I disagree. I totally disagree.
Right. So, second 45 back. On aggregate, it's Atletico 2, Arsenal 1, but on the 9th, it's Atleti 1, Arsenal 0. And shout out to this man who just got the first for the home side, Salzburg. They lead 1-0 against Marseille.
That's Haidara, Amadou Haidara. Wonderful goal, ran through the defense. Solo effort from that man. French international, not played for the national team. I know that might not be happening in the nearest future, but played for some age grade teams for France. And he's done so well. That's what you expect from a Salzburg side who have knocked out Lazio after being outscored in the first leg. They came back, and they might be doing it again today. I won't be surprised. He was turning in the first leg, and he just knew it wasn't enough to knock out a Salzburg side team, who have just been crazy. I knew they used to do it in Austria back then. Yeah, Austria, right? I know they used to do it in Austria with a striker, was it Solano, playing for them. They win 7-8 goals in a particular encounter. And now they brought that same form to Europe. They don't have that striker I'm talking about. But they've got some very compatible team. And I know their coach will be that man that will be most sought after if they go on to qualify for the final of this particular encounter. I'm talking about Marco Rose.
The funny thing is both of them came out from the same group, Group I, in the group stages, where they defeated Marseille here at the Red Bull Arena and went to Marseille and drew blanks 0-0. And that's what we are saying here again. Olympique Marseille had that in mind last week when they beat them 2-0. And then here they're falling to a Red Bull Salzburg team. I mean, this is so when you talk about Cinderella run, it's been a Cinderella run for Red Bull Salzburg. And if they get to the final, whoever they meet between Arsenal and Atletico, it's going to be difficult to defeat this Red Bull Salzburg team.
All right, it's a corner to Arsenal. They've really been hyper in the second 45. You've got to give them credit for that. Just to get that confirmation, yes, it is a corner kick. Camera is panning on Lacazette and the other Arsenal players in the box. The corner to be taken by Ozil. It's left-footed. It's going to be an outswinger. Mesut Ozil with a corner for Arsenal. Kenny Welbeck couldn't connect with it, and it's going to be potentially a counter-attacking play for Atleti. The Arsenal man will disagree in that instance. All the way back they go, straight to Hector, who decides to find his goalkeeper, David Ospina. Sends one back into the Atleti half. Cut out shot by the goal scorer, Diego Costa. It's come really deep to support the defense, Diego.
Yeah, he did that a couple of times in the first half. And talking about Costa as well, we saw him almost get the second for Atletico Madrid.
This could be Arsenal's first if the cross is good, but not to perfection, that cross. Well defended there by the Atleti player. Well, Lucas Hernandez. The throw taken quickly to the captain, Jack Wilshere. Right infield, back to Jack, but this time it's pushed through. It's the wrong pass, and Arsenal might just be punished for that. It's Griezmann running through. It's got Costa on the left-hand side, still on Antoine Griezmann, and it decides to be a bit selfish. Well, went for the strike there. Scored too many goals from such moments, but
it's a free kick.
It wasn't like
it's a free kick.
The referee has aided what would have been quite a slap on his face. Diego Costa would have actually fought him in the dressing room for that. But the referee has called for what the Arsenal player did was wrong. Apparently he got clipped
I think it was Danny Welbeck.
On his Achilles.
It was Nacho. Nacho was
Nacho.
running behind. He was actually running behind Antoine Griezmann. I'm not sure
Obviously,
Griezmann was looking. Griezmann
Yeah.
wasn't looking. He didn't see Diego
Well, he had
Costa
what he wanted to do
overlapping.
in his hat, actually.
Nacho wasn't even interested in the ball. He was looking to bring down the
Well,
man
it's the third
because he was rampaging.
Third yellow
to go
card
score.
in the game, and of course the second for the Arsenal team. Wilshere got the first in the first half. Monreal gets the second in the second half.
And Ima, this is where I get to question the referee. How come Gabi has not gotten a yellow card in this game?
Well, Gabi has a yellow card.
He should be on the red already.
Okay,
Two
well, yellow
times
is fine
he had some huge kicks and would have just taken him out.
The free kick
sorry,
to
I didn't notice
Atleti.
that actually got one already.
24 meters, it's understandable. 3 players on the yellow now, Gabi, Wilshere, and of course Nacho. Thomas standing over it.
Thomas?
Griezmann standing over it. Not many televised.
He scored this against Barcelona.
But this could be that moment where Atleti shatter the heart. It's Antoine Griezmann who strikes! And just inches wide, but the goalkeeper had it covered. You've got to say that placed there was Spina. And again, some moments for Arsenal fans to have their hearts in their mouth. That looked good on replay. But like I mentioned, the Spina had that covered.
Yeah, it was always swerving away.
It's a goal kick to Arsenal.
Good take.
You can't be so sure.
Good take. Quite a good take coming from Antoine Griezmann.
Wow.
I mean, he's often their dead ball specialist.
Well, again, this time it's another clanger, almost dropped by the Arsenal defence. Straight all to Atleti. Dealt with easily by Lucas Hernandez, it seems. But eventually to Arsenal.
It's the sort of situation that Atletico Madrid are very used to, scoring one goal and keeping it absolutely tight.
Yeah, true.
Look, if you want to look at it on the balance, I think in the second half, Atletico Madrid have seen a better scoring chance to the Arsenal team. Arsenal caught Ramsey. He had a chance. He couldn't really get his composure around that ball. But you look at it, it's looking a very familiar situation for Atletico Madrid.
But it's Arsenal, the Atleti half, they're approaching the penalty area, and this could be that moment for Ozil with a cross.
Whoa!
And of course, it's a sliding interception from the Atleti defense. Mesut Ozil caught in 2 minds there, if to hit the ball or to cross. But his cross was snuffed out by Diego Godin.
Should have hit it. Should have hit it.
Once again, hit it.
That would have been a goal. That was the Arsenal goal.
Hit it with plenty of power. I mean,
yes, it fell to his stronger foot.
Yeah, he was right in a very good area from that left-hand side. I think he should have been shooting it and maybe expecting a rebound.
They've got an opportunity again to try to do something good. It's Ozil, finds Nacho. Jack Wilshere, someone is chasing him down. Diego Costa in that instance. It's a good pass. And Ozil again. Well, it was actually to no one in particular. For Arsenal, still with the ball. Hector Bellerin with a long cross. Thomas brought out easily, but the assistant on the far right inside would flag for offside call, and he does look not too excited. Mesut Ozil, the German.
He will look back at that chance.
105 times he's played in La Liga for Real Madrid between 2010 and 2013. Just once he's lost against Atleti. Tonight could be the second time if the scoreline stays and becomes a result. But on replay again, that decision not to strike the ball might hunt him for eternity. And maybe just for tonight.
There was no need dressing the ball again. It was slack defending coming from the Ghanaian Thomas Partey. I mean, he was through and go down the left-hand side. Acute angle, no doubt. But people have seen great goals from such acute angle, and it was in his better foot. So I thought he should have been shooting it.
But in games like this, you just have to take your chances.
Yeah, like I said earlier, this is a time where Arsenal need to score a goal. They do not want Atletico Madrid to get up to 75 minutes and then start bringing in defenders. It will be more difficult for them. The game is still balanced as it is. So Arsenal need to take the chance they have, or the chances that they may have in this game, equalize before it gets to a point where they start bringing in defenders and lock up the whole place, and then they would not get a sniff at goal.
Oh, that was pretty much terrifying. What a save from Jan Oblak. Had to be granite.
This man is
Xhaka.
This man won't be at Atleti next season.
But at Arsenal, you mean?
Black.
Oh, Jan Oblak. Well, there are not too many bigger teams than Atletico Madrid who have terrible goalkeepers. If it's Bayern, Mano Neuer is still fit. Keylor Navas is doing good for Madrid. United have David De Gea. They could just be headed to Chelsea if Thibaut Courtois is let go.
Courtois has always wanted to come
top teams
back.
have great goalkeepers, in all fairness. Eduardo is doing well for City, so it's hard to see him leave Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, but
Barcelona.
Atleti, they're a selling club. They're not a club that hold on to their players. So I feel this season, most of their players, or their key players,
some of the key players who they sell,
leave.
the thing is they leave and they become starters in the club they leave to.
Yeah.
But I don't expect him to leave to Madrid and sit on the bench for Navas or on the bench for De Gea. or like I think if there's any big team, maybe the Arsenal team who
Felipe Luis left, and he didn't get much playing time, and he came back.
I think Arsenal would get a goalkeeper during the summer.
So it could be Jan Oblak. This could be his audition, but it's Costa running through. He's gone past 2 players. He can strike. Well, he does strike. And it's caught out there by Nacho Murillo, but the danger is not averted from an Arsenal perspective. But eventually, Hector Bellerin will clear, and Arsenal can try to break through. Unfortunately, they've been dispossessed in the midfield. It's Mesut Ozil. Great composure from the German. Well, good to see him fight for the ball. What a pass that was to Aaron Ramsey. Well, again, Ramsey with a stray pass. It's Tamas with the ball now on the right-hand side. Throws it infield to find support. It's on the outside of right. An opportunity for Koke. Oh, not the most successful play. Nacho Murillo doing his job. The man who played 127 league matches for Osasuna. And, of course, 45 for Malaga during his time in Spain. He also understands what it means to come up against Atletico Madrid, Nacho Murillo. Faced Atletico 11 times, 3 draws, 2 draws, 3 victories, and 6 defeats. Good pass that was. Better pass this is. And what a cutback from Costa. Could have been perfection. And again, it's Hector on the right. Still chased down by Diego.
Hector has been poor, Emma. Very poor. His crosses have not been anything to write him about.
He's made so many wrong passes down there.
Nothing at all.
He's done good.
He gets to the final third and he cannot connect one good pass. He doesn't know when to shoot. Doesn't know how to cross the balls with ease, and that's where Arsenal are actually lacking. I'm looking at Arsenal bringing somebody in from the bench, but I don't know who that is. But they need somebody who can actually drive through.
Maybe an Alex
birthday boy.
No, they actually.
You'll be so surprised that Nketiah should be that man that they
think they need someone who
who
is confident enough to pierce through that defense and
would that be Iwobi will pass his way through. He will never shoot. He will never run through. He will pass.
I think what they actually need is somebody who can sit back and allow Bellerin. Bellerin wants to go forward.
No, Bellerin has nothing to offer. He has nothing to offer.
The middle of midfield.
Bellerin is under Victor Moses. Victor Moses is far better when he goes forward than Bellerin. That's how bad Bellerin is. He's at this point.
For the guys in the studio and of course those listening, if you forgot in a hurry, the first leg at the Emirates Stadium ended with Arsene Wenger not making a single substitution.
And he might be doing that again.
So all those names you're mentioning.
He's made one already.
That was the first
substitution. So he played the entire 90 minutes in the first leg without taking off any player.
That means he doesn't trust his bench.
He does actually.
Maybe he didn't actually, but it's what it is.
If you look at the bench, really,
he doesn't trust his bench.
But surely, most likely, Mkhitaryan might be coming, and that's the man we actually need to talk about.
Just came back from injury.
He will be forcing him in.
That's another thing to look at. He played against United.
Yeah,
got a goal against Manchester United, Eric Mkhitaryan. The only goal the Arsenal team could get against United at Old Trafford. They were much touted as underdogs heading into that game. Stood tall like Trojans. And we're not embarrassed. I think it was a ploy by the United team. Wenger proud to that fixture, applauded by the United fans. Not too many scenes like that in the history of that club side, but in present day they've got to get something here. But it's Atleti. Try for a second. Diego Costa is Griezmann, and somehow it's not going to count.
Whoa.
Well, he actually did not even go in. How did he miss that on Antoine Griezmann?
Great play. Great play once again from Atletico Madrid. And look at the bit of the skill there coming from Antoine Griezmann. When you thought he should have been shooting it, he cuts it back. And that was almost going in, if not for the fact that the goalkeeper Ospina stood still.
Well, Arsenal this time will try to break free. It's Jack Wilshere, break the ball down with his chest. Great skill from the Welsh Englishman. It's a good pass.
Very good.
With the cross again. And somehow we just couldn't get into the 18-yard box. Hector Bellerin. It's Arsenal still with the possession on the right-hand side. The pressure is much now on the Atleti defense. Jack Wilshere turns to the left-hand side. Fights support infield. Granit Xhaka finds this time an opportunity for a cross from Nacho. It's near perfection. But this time they couldn't catch or connect with Lacazette. And Hector Bellerin will go for the throw in this time on the right-hand side. It's been quite frenetic in the last 5 minutes.
End-to-end stuff,
as they call it, but it's still Atletico 1, Arsenal 0, 2-1 on aggregates for the home side.
Diego Costa is smelling like he wants to get another goal for
Wenger listens to this broadcast. I think he has a
well, the captain is coming on.
Correspondent.
Well, probably who tunes into Nigeria in for.
Look at Diego Costa with that cut back.
If he actually
down the left-hand side,
ball, it might have been the second.
That was a perfect build-up coming from Costa.
Well, let's stick with what's happening on the pitch there. Not the drama from Echolo, who, by the way, The Atleti manager has been coach of the side since December 2011.
I think this coach is listening to heavy metal rock.
Yeah.
The way they celebrate and the way they react
Jack
to
Wilshere has been taken off.
Two captains off for Arsenal.
In the game, and I wonder if it's the cost of the armband. Whoever is the next captain might get substituted, but Atleti will try to break free. They are not here for jokes, this home side. They know a goal is nothing in this game. Arsenal gets one, and it elongates into extra time. They pretty much want to end this in 90 minutes. Had a 1-0 win in the last La Liga fixture. Arsenal suffered a 2-1 defeat at United.
I feel Wenger should have left Wilshere on the pitch. Is that hard man who they need? I think it's been tough. And also
Mkhitaryan isn't the hard man. But this time it's Costas running through. He's in the penalty area, Costa. And dealt with easily by Mustafi. That cross.
Couldn't get his right composure to that cross. I thought he overran himself. But seeing the change coming from Arsenal, what it means is we'll be seeing lots of runs from the flank. We've seen them in the last 20 minutes coming directly, and we'll talk about it in the second half. Arsenal coming directly with the attack. They found it very difficult to pierce through that Atletico Madrid defense. So maybe some flank runs using the width quite to productivity. Perhaps it might yield the result for Arsenal with Mkhitaryan coming on.
On the previous two occasions, Arsenal have drawn the first leg of a European semi-final. They've progressed to the final. Happened in 1970-80 and 1993-94, the Cup Winners' Cup. But also, you know that the past 5 teams to achieve a score draw away from home in the first leg of a major European semi-final have also progressed to the final, including both teams in the Europa League, Dnipro and Sevilla, in 2014-15, 15-16 respectively. The corner
Emmanuel,
from Atletico. Go ahead.
We know we have an eye in the Arsenal game, but something is happening at the Red Bull Arena. It's 2 goals to nil. It's 2-2 on aggregate.
I said it.
It's 2 goals to nil.
Almost a third. Almost a third.
This Salzburg team, I told you about the Salzburg team. You cannot defeat them at home. They have shown this time and time again in this Europa League, UEFA Europa League. And I said anybody that wins, if they defeat Marseille here, anybody that wins between Arsenal and the Atletico Madrid, they're going to find it difficult playing these guys. These guys are something else. 2 goals to nil against Olympique Marseille.
The good thing is they won't be playing at home when the final comes.
It's going down in Lyon. And Azul has got a goal scorer.
Yeah, Javier Slager is the man who got the second goal in the 65th minute. No assist. I think they've been doing it single-handedly on their own. And that's just how to play against Marseille. Dimitri Payet, switch off. Who else is there? Big names. And Luis Gustavo playing in the centre back. And you've seen some very top guys. Marseille are looking like a team, and they have all the big names, but actually not paying off at this point in time. Adirami, who was with Monaco last season, is also very much right there. We've got Valerie Germain, who also scored against Manchester City, also in the team, man. And Florent Thauvin, these are top guys for on their own day, but it's not working out for them at this point in time. I hope they don't do what they don't expect in this particular encounter.
Well, Arsenal had a corner while Azul was brilliantly analysing. This time taken by Ozil, but it's in the penalty area now for Atleti. And the strike might come!
Oh no!
Just hits the roof of the net. It was from the new entrant, Eric Mkhitaryan.
It's the best thing. It's the best thing Arsenal have done all second half long. That shot from Mkhitaryan.
They need to start shooting from range.
Great strike from him. That was almost going in. Just shaved the crossbar.
Just hits the rooftop. No contact actually with the band. This time around, just putting pressure on the Atleti defense.
I think
Granit Xhaka thought, well, this is a different me. The picture on the face of Arsene Wenger, like Chidiberry mentioned, it's a special night for him. It's his 250th appearance on the touchline as manager of Arsenal Football Club in UEFA Club competitions, just obviously led by Sir Alex Ferguson. 269 Fergie had managers in the top 10. Lucescu, Giovanni, Trapattoni, amongst those managers, Carlo Ancelotti, Jupp Heynckes, to mention but a few. And of course Wenger is the second. It's quite remarkable to say the least in all UEFA European competitions. And kind of remarkable control that was from Thomas, and this time the pace will come from Atleti. It's Koke who sent it to, well, it's a diagonal pass on the left hand side. It looked pretty easy for Antoine, but he mistimed it.
Too strong.
And it's gone out for a throw on the right hand side to be taken easily by Hector Bellerin, who's been maligned by the guys in the studio for underperforming. Takes it quickly. A throw infield now, close to the centre circle. An opportunity for Arsenal to do something tangible and completely silent the fans out there at the Metropolitano. It's Danny. Oh, it's actually Lacazette this time around. Finds the Arsenal player infield. An opportunity from Granit Xhaka. It's a good pass, and Arsenal might find one back. Danny Welbeck couldn't get to it. But it's still Arsenal with the possession, and as they have it, they lose it easily. Diego Costa up front. He's got to play it to bits. He can go with him for pace, but unfortunately, that's a throw to Atleti.
Breathtaking pass from that man Xhaka. It was a crossfield pass to the left-hand side. And look at the run. He watched the run of Nacho. Great timing from him. It was just about that defender who stood in the area. The number 24 player was just right there to clear the lines for Atletico Madrid.
Jorge Gimenez, they will make that substitution eventually.
Vitolo.
The applause from the fans just to motivate.
More problems. More problems.
Rafael Nadal, the king of clay, has got timeouts to watch this.
Yeah, they spanned the...
Yeah, playing in Madrid, that's his home.
I think
he's a Madrid fan actually, but then again he could just walk and watch this.
Mallorcan.
Then again, well, Vitolo taking off for Correa. It's an opportunity for them to get something entirely different in terms of approach to this encounter.
I think they smelt an opportunity, that's why they're bringing in.
It's 74 minutes. Atletico Madrid boast the meanest defense in La Liga, and they've only conceded 3 goals at home in 2018. It's quite ironic if you look at Wenger's Arsenal,
away games,
who, by the way, on their travels, it's very odd when it comes to domestic football, but they are unbeaten on their 2018 travels in Europe. Arsenal, they're yet to lose a game away from home, but they've lost 7 out of 8 domestic away fixtures this year. 6 straight Premier League defeats. So it's been quite a complex situation for the Gunners, but this is great control and great composure, but a terrible pass eventually.
Ima, if you look at Arsenal, you forget that Welbeck is actually on the pitch. I wonder what he's still doing right there. It's been off. Maybe they're just leaving him for that X-Factor moment where you get a chance from nowhere and he puts it in. But if there's anything Wenger has to tell his boys to stop, they have to stop crossing the ball. You have a Diego Godin and another very crazy man up in the air. You don't get to head those balls into the net. Arsenal have just been heading backwards. What they need to do now is look for a way to push Ramsey forward, and they have also Mikitano can also strike from outside and see if they can get a goal or actually trouble the defense and put them under pressure. If they keep crossing the balls, nothing is going to happen for Arsenal at this point in time, because the defense are standing really tall.
They've got to do something special to bring the curtain down on Wenger's swan song. They need to get a goal here. I mentioned it during my introduction. That's the only way they can give hope to this for the fans who made the trip from London to Madrid. And of course the manager who would step down at the end of the season after 22 breathtaking years at the helms, Arsene Wenger. He's been manager of the team since 1996. On this day, some years back, well, he did something good. Atleti might do something better. Antoine Griezmann again, sandwiched by 2 Arsenal defence.
Why the hesitation?
And Danny Welbeck tracking back to do something really good. I think it's more defensive now than attack-minded. Danny Welbeck, great composure from the Englishman to roll the ball, great skill, and a free kick surely.
Yellow card.
I don't think it's deserving of a yellow card.
Ramsey.
I
think since he put on that captain's armband, we begin to see more of him on Ramsey. I'm not sure. Showing that skill
there was no.
Is always
they're
had.
not going to take him off.
Well, I think Atletico, I think they're walking the perfect path. For Atletico, it's about walking the perfect path. They are sticking to what's been working for them. Having Diego Costa up front there, I mean, it's just the right thing to do. The fear factor he brings, I'm not sure. I think he should be finishing the game, Costa. We've seen him make some, get some glimpses of chances, also create some himself in that Arsenal's 18, but it's just about that finishing that hasn't come. So I think for Atletico, it's like another European Cup final in the offering.
We're still live on YouTube. The page is Nigerian for Life. Just go and catch a glimpse of world-class studio and facilities. Then again, the referee would play that in his advantage. Just go on YouTube, type Nigerian for Life, and of course you join the viewing. In about 5 minutes or so, we'll start taking those comments on YouTube. But for the time being, just to describe, Granit went down. Well, the referee has shown a yellow card to 2 players. Diego Costa one, and Mustafi. Gonna get confirmation first, but Diego Costa is confirmed the yellow card. Refused to let go of the ball quickly, and Granit Xhaka didn't like it. Costa with all his fight, Mustafi. Incredible stuff. So it's a yellow card apiece, like that from the referee.
Costa is enjoying this.
Taking no nonsense there.
Yeah, look at enjoying this. He loves it. I mean, how do you have a nightmares or a football game without Costa causing trouble?
Costa being Costa. That's just how to put it. He scores and he he destroys.
I think we've missed him in the Premier League. We've missed all his antics.
I got tired of that. I got tired of it so many times.
I love it.
But again, it depends on what excites different people. For some players like Costa, the reason why football is what it is, a delight to watch. For the others, it's just not deserving to be a footballer. Could have easily got into martial arts. Or Thomas, who is still perfect tonight, yet to give a straight pass.
Impeccable. I think it's been the man of the match for me. Man of the match for me for Atletico. For the whole match, basically.
Now Griezmann this time around probably wants to take that down away from Thomas. What a pass from Antoine Griezmann to the outside of right.
I thought that was heavy.
Perfect and massive actually. It's Correa who just came on. He's on the right. He's got Mustafi. Blitz Mustafi for Ace. Correa can cross. He does cross. It's long as high. And it's kept out easily by the Arsenal head of. Well, it looked like was going to be pretty much easy, and that's even better from Aaron Ramsey. And again, they give away possession. So much misplaced passes from the Arsenal players. They're gradually running out of time, Arsenal. It's 81 minutes played. Atletico Madrid 1, Arsenal 0. A goal will take this into extra time. Danny Welbeck hanging on to the ball. It could be Atleti. It's Diego Costa. He's got two players in support. Decides to be a bit selfish. Still Costa, and he costs the ball back just somehow. Oh, not the perfect decision from Diego Costa, but again, it did put pressure on the Arsenal back line.
Welbeck should be given a red card.
For underperforming.
He's tired. He looked like they tied stones to his legs. He couldn't run.
It's a very high intensive game. You've got to be 100%. You've got to run your socks off. And one good thing about the lad so far, I think, is also added to some of the defensive shape for Arsenal. So perhaps he's just running his socks off. Maybe it's the right time for Arsene Wenger to add in more attacking.
Well, let's see if this could be the referee playing to Arsenal's disadvantage. But again, they regain possession. Nacho Monreal infield to find Ramsey. Mkhitaryan calling for the ball. Well, so much pace from the Armenian. The only Arsenal player with a Europa League medal. He won with Manchester United. On the ball to the right hand side now. The caller could come through. They're taking their time. Arsenal still with the ball. It's Aaron. The cross is good. It's in the penalty area. Brought down with the chest of the German, but it's not going to count. Surely the referee allowed Thomas. I'm sure he probably will walk up to him and request for an autograph after this game. So much pressure from Griezmann. They're counter-attacking. It's Griezmann and Costa up front. They can't connect swiftly. It's still Diego Costa up against Mustafi. Right in the penalty area. Diego Costa takes his time. He's got two Arsenal players. And somehow decides to completely let me run out of breath without doing anything sensitive. Incredible play from Diego Costa. Such a rude striker.
Very rude.
He wanted me to be a bit calm because he wasn't going to do anything, Diego Costa. How do you be in the 6-yard box?
and you don't
turn back. And he's going to strike now. Oh!
It likes doing the difficult things.
He's a showman, Diego Costa.
Difficult things, Diego Costa. I thought, look, he had
the coach is furious.
They had defenders lined at him when they had that ball.
He just stopped that counter. He just stopped that counter. Diego Costa. He was there. And he decided on his own to stop and go back.
To be fair to Costa, we didn't have plenty of Atletico Madrid players in 2018.
Whoa!
Well, Nacho Monreal doing well. He's played against this team numerous occasions, against this side as a player of Malaga, and of course the other side I mentioned, Osasuna. Well, Costa is down.
I said that before. That was why
he's tired. Yeah,
he's down on the top. Diego Costa. Well, Fernando Torres is still on the pitch, on the bench. I beg your pardon. And of course, Correa has been animated, complaining why the Arsenal players didn't actually play the ball out. The player was down on the top. He expects them to exhibit fair play when they're trailing.
If not them, they go down.
We saw that happen in the Bayern game against Juventus. It was.
And it took a while.
Yeah, but this time around, it's the referee, Gianluca Rocchi. We haven't seen this man sit down. Neither have we seen Arsene Wenger.
Nobody's sitting with him. He's lying alone in the box.
When it was a player, he actually did come up against, it's Arsene Wenger's side, but this is the very first time these two teams have met. Well, I mentioned Fernando Torres, another winner of the Europa League. He did that with Chelsea.
Won the Champions League
also. Of course, well, I'm not going to talk Champions League when Europa League is on the way. But the man who's coming off, Diego Costa, his goal might just be the reason why Atleti will be going to France for the Europa League final. And all of the love, not for Diego Costa, but for Fernando Torres El Nino. It's his final campaign as an Atleti player. They won't give him a befitting send-forth.
Yeah.
And he said he just had to make that decision. He's not getting as much play time as he wants. And the manager said he understood.
Maybe China is calling.
Depends on his priority.
Yeah,
Might be the
the man is an athletic legend.
So
he
the
was,
substitution confirmed, by the way, Costa off, Torres on.
So he was actually the captain, the youngest captain they had at 17. Diego Simeone, the captain, was the coach was playing then when he was a captain.
Torres was captain,
and
course,
now he's the Oga, and this one has turned to boy. That's life.
It's life, yes. But again, if Costa takes him, I beg your pardon, Fernando takes him to his accolade room, he would see the World Cup, he would see the Champions League, and a couple of trophies that El Cholo, just couldn't achieve, even while he was in the Italian Serie A.
It's a more bigger player.
But Arsenal,
Torres.
in terms of achievement, yes, but well, again, in love and support and respect. It's hard to put them side by side. In all fairness, not similar positions they play. But it's Arsenal now. Less than 5 minutes. They've got to get something in this game.
We might see extra time.
Hopefully not.
Oh.
You've got to be neutral and say maybe just yes. Exactly. But it's Correa running on the right hand side. He's been really active since his introduction. Really pacey. This
running down the
player.
clock.
He's doing everything positive.
You know that line? Massimo.
Set of players with the ball. If Ronaldo has the ball, you don't come.
No, Messi, Massimo.
I mean, even Cristiano Ronaldo. So, players who naturally take on defenders. If Marcelo has the ball, you don't want to come through. Certain players like that, it's incredible. Yes.
Oh,
God. 84 minutes of action played. 6 minutes away from Wenger's last Uhuru as manager of Arsenal. They still got players on the pitch. The goal scorer has been taken off. Diego Costa
is unbelievable.
Yet to consider goal at the Wanda Metropolitano. 11 admittance. No one has been able to break down this Atletico defense.
Chelsea won here. What's happening?
Chelsea won. It was on the Champions League, and it wasn't in 2018.
In 2017.
That's
long
ago.
2017, yeah.
So many things happened in 2017.
That's long ago.
This is it is. January 2018 is so
good. Month of
what Arsenal. That's not a cross.
Is this?
Nacho Monreal, disappointing from Nacho. It's going to be disappointing with his cross. Actually, I think it's one of the really gifted crosses of the ball. And the Atleti fans are loud now. They can sniff Leon. For Arsenal fans, it's dejection and how they would behold the horror of Arsenal Fan TV. That's what it is. Well, you can see. I'm not the one who's not a believer. The Atleti fans believe it's over.
It's an unbearable night.
I think it's surprising the way Arsenal have played today. They played really well. I remember last week when they were playing, I said Arsenal have to that they are already in trouble by allowing Atletico to come back. Atletico are going to come at them at the Wanda Metropolitan, and that's exactly what they're doing.
They had the game.
Coming at Arsenal, they went to Arsenal to defend. Unfortunately, they got one man down, and then they defended astutely until Griezmann equalized that goal. And now they are showing no signs of defending. They are actually attacking the Arsenal team, and I think those missed chances in the first leg is costing Arsenal.
Jude, the Arsenal team had the game at the balls in the first half. Well, they had the balls more like, and they passed the ball quite well. It was just about them not doing enough, in terms of converting their chances, and it's really come to hurt them. They allow Atletico come back and get that one goal.
His fans are crooks. They all stayed mute for over 80 minutes.
They were keeping their voices.
It's 86 minutes played.
I think Wenger will shut himself out of the internet, not wanting to see the Arsenal Fan TV.
He doesn't want to do it. But it's a free kick to Atletico. Jack Wilshere laid back like he's on a private jet, terrified of turbulence.
It usually is.
But this is worse than that for those who are not frequent flyers.
I don't like Cookie.
It's a free kick to be taken.
I don't like his face.
It's on the left-hand side.
He's winning. That's a mean look.
No Athletic player in the box. They don't want to take this set piece. They're not in a hurry to take it.
They're used to this.
And it's a short one that they were born to defend all their life until this man hurt them real bad. Sergio Ramos. They'll never forget that night. They thought they were kings of defense. Until the defender.
Moments like this remind me of a five-a-side when, you make everything all scruffy and you scatter everything. And that's what Atletico are doing. They're making sure they're killing the time. Whatever it takes to kill the time, they would do it. If it takes pushing the referee, I'm sure even maybe Fernando Torres won't mind.
A bit of an issue at the Red Bull Arena.
A fight is broken out.
A shout for a penalty call. A shout for a penalty. The Marseille player kicked the ball, and the Red Bull Salzburg player stuck out his hand and he hit his hand, but the referee said play on.
Oh, some opportunity there.
There was no one there. There was no one. No one.
Hey!
Some brilliant save from the goalkeeper, David Ospina. The Arsenal defense trying to conspire to end this game in 90 minutes.
Energy coming
and Fernando
from?
Torres might find his moment, but nothing for El Nino.
Where is the energy coming from?
And the perfectionist Thomas yet to give a straight pass. Finally he does it, and I'm not excited for him. It's Welbeck to the right hand side. It's an opportunity from Hector Bellerin. He's close to the edge of the area. Sent it all the way back, and you can feel it in my voice. Not too excited. An opportunity now. Lacazette can strike, but he gets and an opportunity for an interchange of play. A player is down on the top. The referee waves play on, and Athletic can clear to safety. One man is down. He's up now. They would not try to counter-attack Atletico Madrid. Antoine Griezmann gives away possession. It's Aaron Ramsey. Good pass to Danny Welbeck. Goes down. It's going to be a free kick. So says the referee. And yes, it is a free kick to Arsenal.
He didn't give it.
Well, he does give it.
Did he?
The Arsenal fans, it's a free kick to Arsenal. Well, it's not a free kick to Arsenal.
It's the play on.
It's incredible by Gaio Karaki.
What?
And on replay again, that save from David Ospina. Just keeping Arsenal.
Very key. Very key to the dying embers of this game. That save from Ospina. It was a direct shot at him.
So much energy coming from the Atletico Madrid team, and you wonder where the energy is coming from.
They kept it. They have it. They played 120 minutes already in the final.
I think it should be tested. Yeah, to be fair. I mean, this
they do test them. They do test them
on the
randomly. After every game, they pick 2 players from each side, and they test them randomly.
I think it's almost looking like it's all over. It's hard to see Arsenal coming right back into this game. I think they just lost it from the first leg. Coming at the Wanda Metropolitano, a side that have conceded plenty of goals so far this year, right here on this ground, it was always going to be difficult.
Well, we've seen drama in football. We've seen this season's competition produce fingernail biting moments. This could be one. Well, Atletico could just make it a walk in the park. And this time around, surely no one knows what the referee will give. He gives nothing. It says carry on with the action. It's Aaron Ramsey on the left hand side. He's got 2 Athletic players to beat. He can sweep one cross in with his left foot. He does. Not the best of crosses. The man who's exhausted.
Tired,
I was going to mention that.
He didn't want to run because he knew he was tired. He wanted to cut back, and Partey didn't give him the chance.
Well, quickly they take. Ramsey still with the ball. Chance with his right. It's long as zip. And it's sent back to danger by an Athletic player. But it's not that moment for Arsenal. The cross would come in. But eventually, still huffing and puffing all around the Arsenal box. Well, it's a confusing moment for Arsenal. But then again, nothing will come out. Nothing in terms of motivation.
They have themselves to blame. These Arsenal players would have themselves to blame, especially the left and right fullback, Nacho Morel and Hector Bellerin. I mean, we haven't seen Nacho make lots of poor crossing in, but on that occasion it was key. And instead of shooting, for the second time, he decided to cross, and it was just a poor cross coming from Nacho Morel.
I just saw a woman who should be in her 50s.
50s,
Emmanuel swinging and motivating the Atletico fans.
Those are the die-hard fans.
Woman. it hardly happens in this part of the world, and that's why you want to give these guys those commendations. They are die-hard
this table you're
supporters.
Shaking.
They actually
There's so many things on top of it as well. The table you're shaking. I think it's way beyond just the pleasure of football.
No,
I mean, it's not like we don't have elderly people who love football.
Oh, Savage, a substitution to mention. The Arsenal players are complaining. El Cholo cannot sit down. Looks like he's got boil in his anus. It's something people do who cannot sit down. Wenger obviously thinking about his legacy
and how it's going to all come crumbling at the Wanda.
Emmanuel, it's official. It's the end of the game at the Red Bull
Arena. That goes into extra time. You guys can have your commentary, please.
2 aggregate. I mean, it's wonderful what we've seen there in that stadium. That game seems to be more interesting than the Arsenal game.
It's the final second. The moment Savage gets onto the pitch, it will be the fat lady belting out. The Atleti fans know it. The stewards have hovered around the stadium. The Wanda Metropolitano have never seen a moment like this. The first time a team playing in this centre will advance to the final. And Thomas, who is a contender for player of the match, taking off just one stray pass. And Welbeck couldn't capitalise in that moment. 2-1 on aggregate. Atleti yet to consider goal in this stadium. Arsenal had to score 1 to at least force extra time. The referee is allowed play continue. Final seconds looming. He can signal the end, but he hasn't done just that. Still Arsenal now.
Another 3 minutes given him, huh? I think we've seen 2 of it. We have just some seconds left at this point. Atletico are still attacking. That's the fear.
I don't think they're really interested in getting a second one. It's just fine. They're a polite team. They don't bitch to a pop. This time they might just do just that. Fernando Torres right here. Turns it could be Fernando. Oh, not too much. Still with the possession though. The assistant referee yet to flag for offside. Nothing to call in that instance. Tried to go the way back. Fernando tried to attack over the Arsenal defense. Fernando is now. And it's the free kick against Arsenal. Gianluca Rocky. It's mixed emotions from the Atleti fans.
I feel sorry for the Arsenal team. The Arsenal manager himself, Arsene Wenger. He did everything right in the first leg, and then they wasted the whole chances.
Let him down.
Yeah, they let him down.
I remember I
sent
out a tweet after that match. The players let Arsene Wenger down. They had chances upon chances at the Emirates Stadium to put the game to bed, but they just failed to take it.
We await the referee's decision to end what indeed has been quite a contest. They understand the length and breadth of this football pitch.
The way the ball rolls, it
105 by 68 meters. He looks at his wristwatch, and yes, he signaled the end of the encounter.
Oh boy!
The chance of celebration from Cholo. His unbeaten streak against an English side stays. For Arsene Wenger, his swan song season perforated by a first half stoppage time goal from Diego Costa. A 22 remarkable years at Arsenal will be talked about for years, but sadly, without a European trophy. It's a result, not a scoreline. It's ended at the Wanda Metropolitano. Atletico Madrid 1, Arsenal 0. The home side advanced to the finale in Lyon, 2-1 on aggregate. Tears for Lacazette. And for all the travelling fans, all the Arsenal fans who had hopes, some will feel this night will be the longest ever in the history. But joy for Antoine Griezmann. Couldn't score in this leg, but got one that gave this tie a huge swing in their favour. For Nacho Monreal, he's home, but he feels far away from home. Nothing more to add, Chidabir, as we wrap up the broadcast, but this indeed has been a night where you want to see on paper the best team advance to the final.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. You've got to say that, and I'm seeing so many disappointed Arsenal fans who travelled all the way from the London Stadium down here to maybe witness what might be history in the making for Arsene Wenger as he finally bows out. But then again, it doesn't look like that night. It's that wicked boy, that wicked man, Diego Costa. I'm sure many Arsenal fans would hate him even the more after what he did tonight, inflicting pains, lots of it, in the hearts of the Arsenal faithfuls. And you can see for some of the fans, they are still staying there, still thinking the game is still on, but it's all over. The fat lady, sounded the whistle. It's unbelievable. It's pure bliss for these Atletico Madrid fans. They are jumping and screaming at the top of their voice. And it's just a night, contrasting night, perfect night of football bliss. And, not the best of way for Arsene Wenger to be leaving the Emirates. You can see the disappointment on Lacazette. He wanted to win this for the fans.
He was one of the culprits
for
in
the manager as well. Yeah, but then again, it's all over. I'm sure Wenger, regardless of not winning a European title for Arsenal, I'm sure he's still one of the greatest managers ever graced the football pitch.
250 European outing as manager with the Arsenal is no mean feat. However you look or however you read, whatever story is written about Arsene Wenger, history would never forget that this man led an entire side to go a campaign unbeaten. He played in the final he was supposed to win until that sending off from Lehmann. Had an opportunity to get one when he was going to step down, but it was just too late. Olazu, okay, Jude, as we're wrapping things up.
A bit of a start from Opta says Diego Costa has scored 4 goals in 7 appearances versus Arsenal in all competitions, including netting in each of his last 2 games against them. What do you say when you have Diego Costa in the starting lineup against Arsenal?
All right, before I get Azu's take, I'll squeeze in 2-3 calls, and we have to take our Gwangwaro out of the studio. Hi, good evening to you.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome to the broadcast. All right, go ahead, please, quickly.
Oh, it's a shameful night for me because I'm an Arsenal fan. I didn't believe it.
No, it shouldn't be shameful.
Today. It's very shameful. Hey, when God ended 22 years like this, it's very shameful thing to me. I didn't believe it.
All right, apologies for the disbelief.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you for calling. What's your name, please?
Obviously,
just wanted to be
I'm very
a funny person.
To come back home, when that show, the very shameful thing. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, what's up with the shameful and disbelief? Hello, good evening.
Shameful night.
Hi, Glory. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Thank you for calling.
Good evening to you, Glory.
Yes.
I thought to give you my full name because I'm coming on Saturday.
Oh, okay. What's the full name?
Glory Temudiame Godwin.
That's a very beautiful name you have.
G-O-G.
No problem. No problem. If you just call on Saturday and say you're looking for Femi Digango, we'll come out and we'll embrace you. Okay. You are VIP guest. Final caller for now. Got to go, man.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, hi, Adrian from the
All right, Adrian, go ahead.
Well, it's rather unfortunate. Our bit expected, actually. I mean, we all knew that was the better side. So sad for Wenger. Still one of the greatest coaches in history. As far as the Premier League is concerned, he changed the way football is played. He changed the concept behind youth football. He was the man who made clubs believe in youth football. And I think basically we remember him for all the great things. Our base 49 matches unbeaten.
That's an incredible
Guardiola
feat.
had the record to fight for.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Good night.
And it could have happened this season until Liverpool taught them a lesson and United compounded that. That was well, Azul. Let's just select some messages or mention the names of those who took our time to send them in.
Yeah, shout out to Abdullah Adeyinka. I'm doing that cold star shout after he scored the goal. That was the last we saw after the first half. Nobody came back here. I think that was because of the intense level of the game. They were enjoying it and forgot about tweeting. And Chris Fred also said, good evening, guys. You guys are doing a great job. This tie will be decided in the 80 minutes, and Arsenal will carry the day.
Was decided in 46 minutes.
Mr. Taufiko Adegoki also said, Chai, so bye Jebudas as Wenger, still talking to him in that manner on an emotional night. Won't win this cup again. Arsenal fans are trying. Now, so disappointment, then give you all the time. So it's a painful night, I must tell you, Ma, for Arsenal, for Wenger. The divine intervention didn't take place. It actually just stuck with that team. The thing you see with Simeone's team is I still wonder how they get to be that difficult to play against, and they still create chances and play good football. Look at how they even played. Their passes were so correct, far better than what Arsenal had in 90 minutes. That's how good the Atletico team are, and you must give it to Simeone, one of the best managers in the world at this point in time. Anywhere he moves to, surely he's going to win trophies because he's always been close to winning the Champions League. But just for one reason or the other, Real Madrid have just been that team to stop him. Now he's going to do the Europa League, I think, for the opting time. He did it with Falcao. I think he's done it once. This should be his second or third Europa League title. Just with Atletico Madrid. Great game and mentality, Ima. Wonderful night. We just live to remember today for the fact that Wenger left Europe after this particular encounter. 250 games. He wanted to make it 251, but didn't get to happen. Good night, Arsenal. Good night, Wenger.
All right. Jude, parting shot?
Parting shot. I just, like I said, and I will reiterate that I feel sorry for Arsene Wenger. I really wanted him to, go out on a high for the Arsenal team, take them back to Europe and then, take a bow. But that never materialized this night. The Atletico Madrid made sure of that. I remember when they gave them Atleti and in the draws, a lot of people were optimistic and said, "Oh, this is Atletico, they will beat us." And I said, "Atletico, they're like rock.
I remember
they're like rocks."
One of those we have in the studio.
And I said, "They're like rocks. They're going to be difficult to crack." If Arsenal, I told them, and I said, if Arsenal wants to beat the Atletico Madrid team, they should score at least 4 goals in the first leg, and they failed to do that, and it's haunted them here. But anyway, congratulations to Atletico Madrid for the other game at the Red Bull Arena. It's still going on. 4 minutes in the extra time. Still 2-0 to the home team.
All right. Well, for Arsene Wenger, his Arsenal side had more wins in the UEFA Europa League this season, 8 than any other club. They also still are a team with the most goals in the competitions, 30. They're trying as much as they can to destroy what Roma did in the 2010-11 season. It just couldn't happen. And like we mentioned, the headline wouldn't be about Diego Costa. Maybe for some writers, they might headline with Diego. But for many, it's how Arsene Wenger, after 22 remarkable years, would leave Arsenal without a European trophy. Well, on behalf of everyone and the team led by Femi Daniels, we wish you guys a spectacular night. Congratulations indeed to Atletico Madrid. For the Champions League teams, it's Real against Liverpool on the 26th of May. Course 2018. We await who would be Athletics finalists on Sports Drive tomorrow. You get it here. Bye for now.
Work so hard for you got the vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People say we changed.